So, you're in the market for a new push mower. Well, if you're anything like me, you spent hours and hours of your time online doing research comparing gas to electric and why you should choose gas, why you should choose electric, blah, 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 blah. And you're still on the fence about what your decision will be. Well, you're in luck because today we're going to compare gas versus electric. The grass behind me hasn't been mowed in about a month, so we're going to put these two mowers to the test and we're going to see which one comes out on top. Hopefully, making your decision a little bit easier. I'm Jake with Outdoor Inspirations. Let's push our way into this video. So first, let's make our case for gas. Why should I choose gas over electric? Gas mowers will generally mow more acreage without having to be refilled. And then the benefit is that once it needs to be refilled, all you do is put the gas can in it, fill it up, and you're good to go. So the main benefit of gas is being able to put gas in there and fill it up in a matter of seconds and have it continue to go. Another benefit of gas is that the initial purchase price is generally cheaper than electric. Also, electric batteries are very, very expensive. The technology is not quite there yet, so that is another reason to go for gas. Another benefit of gas is the replacement parts for the engine and for wheels and stuff are generally cheaper to find. And of course with gas, the fact that it is an engine powered by gas means that you are going to have a lot of power to push through some of your thicker grasses and things of that nature. And 9 times out of 10, gas mowers are going to have a metal type construction or steel construction that's going to allow them to plow through all the rocks and everything without getting damaged. So what are the downsides of owning a gas mower? Well, gas. Of course, you have to go to the gas station, you have to fill up your gas can, and you have to maintain the fuel in the gas mower. Also, you have oil to deal with, so you have to check your oil, you have to change your oil regularly. You also have filters, you have belts, you have many different moving parts that go into an engine. And when these things mess up, which can be quite often, they are a pain in the butt to fix, frankly. Now, growing up, I was never a handy person, so this is actually one of the reasons why I personally don't own a gas mower. Now, one of the other downsides is carbon emissions. Of course, you put gas in there, it burns, and the fumes are then emitted into the atmosphere. So carbon emissions is one of the other big things, downsides for using a gas mower. Another downside is the fact that it is very, very noisy and very loud. And sometimes, depending on how old and how nice of a model you have, they can be a pain in the butt to start, especially when it's cold. So those are some of the pros and cons of using gas. Let's see what electric has to offer. So why should I choose electric? Side note, sorry if the camera quality looks different. The camera was overheating when I shot in the high quality, so I had to lower it a little bit so I could get this video done. The biggest reason to choose electric is of course the fact that it is electric. It's run off of a battery. This 7.5 amp hour battery not only runs the mower, it also powers the blower and the trimmer and a ton of other yard tools, including a snow blower, which that's pretty wild. So of course, that's one of the biggest reasons is the fact that you can switch these batteries out between all of these different tools. Another reason to choose electric is the fact that it is very, very lightweight. Most of the body is made out of a hard industrial type plastic. There is some metal here on the handles where you would expect metal. And of course, there's some other parts that are metal, but majority of it is made out of plastic. Another benefit of electric is of course the fact that it has no carbon emissions. So all of you tree hugger hippies, you're happy and you're good to go. Comment below, no carbon emissions, hashtag tree hugger hippie. All jokes aside, this is one of the big reasons for me. Of course, just one person, me, mowing his grass once a week is not gonna eliminate carbon emissions as a whole, but maybe if every person had this viewpoint, then maybe we can make a difference. I don't know, I'm not the expert. But of course, no carbon emissions, that's a big plus. Another reason to choose electric is the fact that it is very quiet. So if you get up and mow at 4:30, I don't know who does that, but if you do, you're not gonna be waking up your neighbors. And if you are mowing at 4:30, by the way, there is headlights. Why does a mower have headlights? I have no idea, but that's there if you need it. Another reason for choosing electric is the fact that there is no maintenance whatsoever, other than changing your blades and sharpening your blades. There are no filters, there's no clutch, there's no belt, there's no gas, oil, none of that stuff to change. So for me, as you know, I'm not a handyman. That is a big plus for me and one of the biggest reasons why I chose electric. Now the final benefit of using electric is the fact that it has more torque than a gas-powered mower. Hold up now, I don't mean to make you gas enthusiasts angry, but electric does, on paper, have more torque than gas. In my experience, I've actually had the gas mower fail and miss grass clippings and bog down more times than I've had this electric mower do that. Now, what are some of the negatives and downsides of using an electric mower? Well, of course, one of the biggest ones is the fact that it's run off of a battery. If you're in the middle of mowing and the battery dies, if you don't have a spare, you're gonna have to let it charge. Now, the Ego brand is the #1 electric yard tool producer. This video is not sponsored, but Ego, hit us up if you want to sponsor this video, that'd be nice. So they have some cool features like 60-minute fast charge for the 7.5 amp hour battery. But it's still annoying when you're in the middle of mowing and it dies and then you have to sit there with your feet up drinking a glass of water, which doesn't sound so bad, but it puts a halt on your mowing. And for me, I like to get it all done in one go. Now, another downside of electric is the build quality. I know I mentioned that it's good and hard plastic and it's lightweight, but the deck here where the actual blade is made out of a hard plastic rather than a steel or metal like most gas mowers. So I'm interested to see how that's gonna hold up over time. I've had this mower for about 3 months and it's been fine, but I'm wondering how it's gonna hold up to all those rocks that I accidentally hit. Now, another downside to electric is the price. They are generally 10 to 15% more expensive than gas mowers. I would say personally it's worth that, but it's something to keep in mind. So those are some pros and cons I've thought of using electric to make your decision a little bit easier. Now let's put these mowers to the test. So we're gonna put these to the test and see just how good they really are. All of the things I said, all the pros and cons and all the stuff on paper doesn't really mean anything if the mowing experience is not good. So let's jump into it and check it out. Here we go. All right, so as you can see, actually pretty good. No, it didn't really miss any spots. It cut a nice path straight down this grass. All right, so now it's time to give the electric a go. So quiet. Pushing at the same speed. All right, so you can see here that it looks like it might have missed a few spots here, but overall, relatively the same type of cut as the gas. So yeah, they each mowed a strip, whatever. Now it's time to really put them to the test. So the gas is gonna mow that whole side, the electric's gonna mow this whole side. Cue the time lapse. All right, so I'm exhausted. I actually cheated on that last little few strips with the electric. I use a self-propel because it's 95 degrees out here in North Carolina. I'm a big boy and it's too hot for all this. Personally, I think that the Ego, the electric side, looks a little bit better. It's a little more uniform. You can see the strips in it a little bit better. And the one with the gas powered is just kind of messy looking, but I will say the electric did miss a few spots. Overall, I would say on this cut, I would probably go with the electric just because it was way easier to push. All right, round two, we've got the drone flying above, so it's a little bit windy. We're gonna mow another spot of the yard. I felt like that test wasn't fair, so let's try test number 2. It's electric. So that was fun. Oh gosh, I forgot how hot those get. Be careful. That was a joke, by the way. So what are my thoughts after mowing with both gas and electric? So what I noticed is that the gas was heavier and it was also a little bit more tough to mow over obstacles. It seems like it didn't have as much grace as the electric did when going over humps and stuff. Looking at the strips that the gas mowed, they're definitely not as clean and they're not as smooth looking, but it did mow every piece of grass. The electric looks cleaner, the lines are more defined, and it was also just a lot easier to push and move over things, but it did get clogged. The side discharge chute that's back here, it got jammed multiple times just from mowing that. But when it comes to cut quality, I would still probably choose the electric. And no, that is not because I initially purchased this over gas. That is just my unbiased opinion based off of this situation. I would say where the gas strived here and where it is gonna strive for majority of people is, I would say if you have a big yard over half an acre or more, first of all, if you're mowing over an acre, get yourself a riding mower. You're gonna save a lot of time and heartache. But maybe you don't have the budget for a riding mower. If you're looking for a push mower, I would totally recommend a gas powered if you have more terrain and if you have a larger yard. But if you have a yard that is half an acre or smaller and does not have much terrain, I would totally recommend electric. And if you're conscious about the environment and maybe you aren't a handyman, electric's the way to go. Well, my plant peeps, there you have it. Gas versus electric. I hope that this video was very helpful in helping you decide which mower you should purchase. And I know we didn't cover them in this video, but if you would like to see the weed eater and all the other yard tools, gas versus electric, comment down below and let us know. We will certainly do that if that's something you guys would like to see. I'm off to get me a glass of ice cold lemonade and a nice refreshing water, because if I don't, I think I might pass out. Peace.